Welcome to Tailored Guns and Ammo. Today I'm going to be installing an Overwatch precision shoe pad, trigger shoe, on a Glock 20. Alien Gear holster, or Glock 20. Got some underwood in there. Set those out of the way. I'm also going to be doing a little bit of polishing on the trigger to see what kind of difference it makes using my Dremel and a little bit of metal polish. See if we can get it to drop down some more. So it's a little dirty. I haven't cleaned it in, I don't know, 3 or 4 months. Also got this Real Avid Glock tool, Armor's tool. It's pretty nice. I haven't used it yet, so let's see. Alright, just push these out. Yeah. So I'll try to show you guys. Not this, but right next to it. It's kind of hard to see. Right there. Gotta punch that out to get this trigger pad off of here. And then I'm going to polish up all this. So I didn't really explain a minute ago, whenever you get ready to take this trigger pad off, I'm going to show you how to take it out of this housing here. But just rubbing my finger along the outside, this is the part that rubs along this part of your gun. So you want it to be as smooth as you can get it so that the resistance is down. Oh, hold on. Let's get some base readings here. I have a Wheeler trigger pull scale. I haven't cleaned my 10mm in probably like 3 or 4 months. I don't know. Yeah, so it's pretty dirty on the inside, carved up. Let's see what it's doing right here. My guess is going to be it's around 5 pounds. That one's at 6, just over 6. It's pretty heavy trigger pull. Because the trigger is curved like this, it's hard to get this to stay on the bottom where your finger normally would rest. It wants to slide up here. So sometimes I got to take my finger and hold it in place. That says it's above 8. Sucker's up there like 8. Honestly, it doesn't feel like it, but maybe it is. There's a lot of squish, not real crisp. That one broke at 5.5. I just have my finger resting on it here, just holding it in place. Seven and a half. See if we can get that to come down a little bit. So we're up there around between 5.5 and 8 pounds of pull. It should be around 5, and I'm not sure if I'm not getting a good purchase on the trigger. With this, or if my trigger pull really is that awful with this. So we'll see if we can improve it. Break it down again for you. Not going to be doing anything with the slide today unless we clean it. Everybody pushes pins out differently. I usually push out this way, and then when I put them back in, I go the opposite. But start with the gun on your left, flip it over, it's the left side of the gun, and I push those out. Usually, if you don't have a magnet, just use a roll of tape. Drop your pins into. If your gun is brand new, your pins are going to be harder to take out and even harder to put back in. So sometimes with the biggest pin, this is a Gen 4, with this pin, you have to wiggle your release, your slide release a little bit to get it to come out. And your whole trigger assembly should come out. Now, to get your trigger bar off, I'm going to lift, push, and twist. So it goes, can't really see. There's a little groove right here. That's where this end of the crucifix sits into. Maybe if I do it like this. I'll pull and twist, and out it comes. Now it's hooked onto this spring here. And how you're going to remember to put it back together the right way is the spring has 2 curves in it. It's got a little hole here. That's where you hook it back in. If you do have to take this off, which we don't today, but if you do and it ends up coming off, how you put it back in is it makes the S. So we got the hole right here. You're going to make the S, and it's going to hook back into here. You don't put it backwards, not a backwards S, but the correct way you would write an S. That's how the spring sits. We are going to be polishing this connector, and how you pop that out. Don't be prying on it. You don't want to bend this thing at all. There's actually a little spot in the back here. So we'll be polishing all that stuff up. I don't recommend polishing any of your plastic. It's just too soft. Now we're gonna have to bust this pin, push this pin through the other side, and once you do this, your trigger is not going to work. So you better make sure you got the right kind of replacement. Just want to kind of eyeball the thickness, because when you're just looking at this, you're going to be like, dang, that looks a lot thicker than this one. But they're right on. We'll see. I think it's going to be a good little addition. I got the red. I just figured red means fire. Nothing else on the gun is red. You can get blue, gold. Yeah. So I recommend getting yourself a little armorer's toolkit. It doesn't have to be anything fancy. I think this was like 11 bucks. on Amazon, and it does the trick. Yeah, my table here is a little bit bouncy, so I don't know if I'm going to be able to knock this pin out on the table. I might have to go do it and then come back. Get myself set up here. Don't knock the wrong pin out. Pause for a second. You can see I'm starting to get that pin to come out. Rattling my stuff all over the place here. Well, I might have to get a bigger hammer. I am bending my punch. Well, I'll be back in a minute. So what I ended up doing here, I took my trusty old knife, I stuck it on the opposite side, spun it around a few times to weaken the plastic. I took my punch and I put it on the side that I drilled. I tapped it out in the wrong direction a few times until I got it to poke out. Kind of thinking I might just push it the rest of the way through this way, if it'll let me. I'm close to pushing all the way through. it's off. So yeah, when you take it apart, just remember how it sat. You don't want to install it the wrong way, right? So it sat like this. So I put that back together, I'm going to go ahead and hit this with some polish real quick. A little bit goes a long way, so that's a lot. And this is probably going to be a little bit messy. With your Dremel and wheel, you can still eat metal away, so you have to be very careful. Okay. Now you could do all this by hand, but just a lot quicker with the Dremel. Make sure you get all that polish off of there, because it's sticky. You don't want anything really sticky. You already have oil, it's going to be carboned up, So camera doesn't even do it justice. Yeah. Camera doesn't do it justice. It's nice. Okay. Now, see if I can get a little bit of a before and after. Slippery. That's before I even wiped it off. You'll see yourself in there. Yep. Make sure you line up the holes. So, fast forward, probably hour and a half, 2 hours. Kids woke up. Anyways, finally got the trigger pad on the bar. And I beat the crap out of it. So, it originally wanted you to knock it in this way. And so I beat on it and beat on it. Couldn't do it. So I knocked it back out the wrong side and then put it on going the opposite direction. Oh, you found it. Say hi. Say hi. Yeah, get out of here then. So, I beat it back on there. And when I say beat it, I mean I whacked it and whacked it and whacked it. I was going to use pliers and try to squeeze it on there, and I was like, no, it's just going to mar it up even worse. Oh, I mean, brass is pretty soft, but you could see how much damage I did. I've never had to install a trigger shoe that was that difficult. I've done several of them, and this was by far the worst. And I hope I never have to do it again. So, yeah. Overwatch Precision, what's up with that? Alright. Got that all put back together. What, son? Where'd it go? Got my connector polished up. Put that back on there. It's supposed to have a little bit of spring in it. This much. And if you got your trigger spring off, remember it goes in the S pattern. And you hook this back up. So, if you miss that, because my big hand was in the way, I held it. It's got to sit like this in there. So put it on there, rolled it, and pulled it forward. And you got to get the crucifix to go in its slot, that slot that's back here, and to get it to go in that hole. And we'll pull forward, twist, push it in, and boom, it's back together. Boo! I'm a little upset I beat the crap out of the side of it, but it's together, and I smoothed it out a little bit, so it just looks bad. And I don't care how it looks really, as long as it functions. So all my parts. Hopefully I didn't lose nothing. Old trigger pad, you can reuse these. I don't recommend it, because once you knock out that pin, it's going to be all hollowed out in there. I'm sure in a pinch you could use it, but this is all plastic. Don't recommend it. This is metal. It's going to add a little bit of weight, but I mean, barely. What? Hi, Dad. Say hi. Okay, so took it out, the pin's out going from the left, so whenever I install it, I go through the right. Take your trigger assembly, drop it in, press it straight down, and bada boom. I gotta go cut some sprigs of thyme. I'll be right back. Alright. Had to help my chef out for a minute. I'm growing a little bit of hydroponic garden and got some herbs going, and she wanted me to grab some of the fresh herbs. Anyways, so we polished our bar all up here, and it rides right along this plastic. I'm going to put some oil in here, and just in one spot to make sure that it rides correctly, nice and smooth. You can buy whole trigger assemblies that drop in, that there's minor adjustments. Some of them shave off this little bump. And things. I like to keep stuff as OEM as possible. I mean, I change a trigger pad, but all of this is original Glock, and that ensures that I have my drop safety and things of that nature. Go ahead and install this. I think we're good to go. Everybody puts their guns back together differently, I think, but it's all generally the same.
Dad.
What, you back?
Yeah.
Oh, you got Cookie?
Yeah.
Wow.
No.
Now, generally, people have the hardest time getting a release in there. I'm going to put my finger on this part and my thumb on this part, and I'm going to put some pressure twisting on it, and it has to line up the trigger pad and this at the same time while pushing your pin through. So get it started. And keep working it, wiggle it, wiggle it. It'll seat. You'll hear it kind of click. Once you get it in the right spot. So, trigger assembly's back in. Yeah. Everything should be locked into place. I shouldn't be able to pull that trigger without pressing the button down. So that works. It stiffened it up a lot. Remember how much it moved before? So just your trigger pad and then reset. Nice and crisp. So Glock has quite a bit of play in the first place, but that's a lot less than before. It was moving like from here all the way back to here, and now it's just, there's the wall, there's the brake. So just your trigger pad makes a big difference. Right, son?
Oh, Dada.
You got chocolate all over your face.
I'll play this.
Yeah, you eating candy, or you eating cookies?
I'll play this.
You ate a cookie.
Oh, what's this?
Well, go get another one for me. Go get one for Dada. Where's my cookie? Oh, you ate it?
Dad.
So, let's check out the trigger pull on this while we got a chance. Yeah, let's do it, huh?
Yeah, right there.
4.5. So I polished it up and I changed out the trigger pad. I did not clean it other than, you know, the polish. Well, that one went up to 6. That one's right at 6 again. I'm going to try it with my other hand. That's where I got the 4. Maybe I'm doing something different. Five. So, I don't know if I'm doing something different the way I'm holding it. With my right hand, maybe it's more controlled, or just over 5 that time. I think it's made a huge difference. So, that's my little video on changing out a trigger pad on a Glock 20. I'm not affiliated with Overwatch Precision. They did not pay me to do this. This is just my own honest opinion. Yeah. How I do it and other people do it is quite a bit different. But, you know, got the job done. Can't really see where I beat it up too bad. Most of it's covered up. So, thanks for watching. Since I forgot to show you guys where to lubricate your Glocks, thought I'd do it real quick. Here's some shooter lube. This is what I recommend using. It's non-toxic, no smell. Good stuff. So I just did my trigger, and then I polished all this stuff up in here, and I didn't show you where I'm gonna oil. So never get oil down in here. You don't need any oil deep inside. I put a little tiny dab of oil right in here, where the crucifix and this bar come all the way down here, and they meet right in here. It's the only spot I ever put oil inside the gun here. It's the only spot you need it. Some people use just one little drop. Some people use a little bit of white lithium grease. You can see where it moves. So right in here, that's where you want the oil. And then on your slide, I never put oil on here. And your barrel needs oil. Not much. I can still tell. It's been like 4 months. I haven't oiled this, and I can still tell it has quite a bit on it still. You want some on the barrel, and then on these lugs down in here. A little bit, a little bit, a little bit, a little bit. Rub it around, rub it around. Rub your whole barrel down. And up here gets quite a bit of action. So, there's that. Drop that back in there. Less is more. You don't need to put a whole lot of oil on your Glocks. They like to run dry. Oil just catches dirt. And then I put some oil on the rails. Start at the back, just a little bit here, a little bit there. Can't even hardly, you probably can't even hardly see where I put oil. And then, whenever you go to put your gun back together, this is going to rub that oil all the way to the front. I'm going to put it together upside down on camera for you. So I just put oil right here. And as I pull it back, it's going to pull that oil all over. And that is how you oil your Glock in like a few seconds. Thanks for watching.